So, there we go. Yes, I believe that this is on my screen now, and what I'm going to do is play.
You hear that crashing rain, and you see what's ahead in the distance. If you look hard, that is a
when I was reporting on the live stream earlier,
scary scene. It's out of Fairplay, Missouri. Happened around.
When I was reporting on the live stream earlier, I called out about Fairplay, said that you need to take shelter because there's a storm I was following. And actually, this is
3 p.m. local time on Friday. Liz Burns and her husband, they grabbed their toddlers and dog, and they got to the safest place that they could.
When we first seen the tornado, there was no wind. The wind started and the rain started when the tornado was about, I'd say, 50 feet past the house.
Now, these folks are clearly thanking their lucky stars. We're so glad they're okay, but there are a lot of places that have already seen damage from storms. There's more to come. And by the way, Fairplay saw a twister rated EF0 the weekend before New Year's Eve. So this is a clear example of why the weather community is constantly trying to debunk the myth that tornadoes don't happen in the winter, because clearly they do. It is important to be prepared year-round, have an emergency plan, and a safety kit ready to go.
We walked out the door. It took us for a second to see it, but it was right over top of the barn. All I'm thinking is, oh, shit, what if it turns? Because we don't have an actual shelter here. All we have is a closet.
So,
I was at work.
And this is more stuff from tornadoes. It's daggum serious today. And it's going to be maybe even worse tomorrow. It's shifting over to Mississippi, Alabama, up into Tennessee, and on to Georgia and so on after the front pushes through. But this is why I'm serious about trying to help people. As you can see in this video, houses are flattened.
Actually, and I work with a first responder who told me to call my husband and tell him to go ahead and take cover. He had my 5-year-old son here. They barely made it into the shelter next door. When they were in the shelter with the neighbors, they heard a lot of class.
That right there has got to be at least, that's about EF2. Well, if that's flat, that's up around the EF3 to high end EF3 or almost EF4. To flatten houses like that, I mean, it could have been not very strong structures. But yeah, while I was doing the live feed today, I was on my radar scope and I saw this tornado, and I looked and showed the correlation coefficient that showed it had a debris ball in it, and it sure did. And this was about, I called it before it went through Fairplay, and I was pretty much saying about the roads up there. If anybody's traveling in their truck, they might have seen it, could have found some protection and stuff like that. But we'll play this one through real quick and I'll get off here.
And what would be our homes and our vehicle being smashed and together, and we went outside and as you can imagine, devastated when we found that our homes were gone, the one we were living in and the one next door that we were fixing up as well.
Yeah, so this is great news that they were able to find more substantial shelter. So is this something that you had planned on, well in the past, that if a tornado warning was ever issued, that you would get out of that home and go into that particular shelter because you knew it was stronger?
Absolutely. I mean, when you live in a mobile home or, homes like that.
It was actually mobile homes that got destroyed there. So you're probably looking at about, and at least, I seen the tornado from the first one. And I mean, you rate a tornado by the damage it does. You don't rate it by seeing how strong it is from a perspective of looking at the tornado itself. So, National Weather Service people will come in and survey the area tomorrow and give a rating. But I'm going to go right there because I see that mobile home, and they were not strapped down. They're probably not braced, or maybe they were, and it's not enough. I mean, mobile homes they're not site-built houses. They're built in a factory, and they're rolled out on trucks and tractor trailers that take them, but I would say I'm going to go with a high-end EF2 on this. That's my prediction. Brandon White says EF1 or EF2. Yeah, I'm going with the EF2, maybe a high-end, because, probably EF2. You see those trees in the background, right? Those pine trees. Those are directly beside where the tornado went through. Now, if it was anything bigger than that, those trees would have been stripped of all their limbs or either completely taken. Yeah. So, you know, it's really cool that I can do this with my phone, but guys, I'm gonna look through and let this video play a little bit more.
For one, a tornado is scary anytime, but when you live in those homes, you have to, and I want to encourage everybody, have a game plan. And, you know, I'm so thankful. Although we lost everything, we are still missing a pet, but our lives are okay. So it's always been our game plan to go next door to the neighbor's cellar, and that's where they were.
Melanie, so wise. Know it's a tough time for you. Do you have any idea what your plan is?
Okay, Brendan White. Man, my email is in my description on my other videos, man. If you want to, it's redmonkeytrucking@gmail.com. It's my YouTube name. You know, this is going to be moved over to the newest channel here soon, but hey, email me, man. We can talk about some storms, because I love chasing. So I'm sure we got a lot to talk about. Your name sounds familiar, man, and I'm trying to figure out. Hey, there you go, bud. I gave you a sub, man. So what's up, big a-hole trucker? Oklahoma, they had some there, but the biggest thing, like, I don't know, the people in here that was in the live stream earlier, you know, I was showing the radar scope. I had it on, I've got to get it on my computer, but I had it on my phone. I was trying to show it, and I was sitting here with Laura showing her the correlation, the CC correlation coefficient had a debris ball in it, and then it was obviously right over when you overlay it with the shear speed and all that. With that, you see that, and it's in the same spot right there. I proved it. There was a debris ball on radar too. You could definitely see it. So that was kind of my purpose of doing that today, because I did call out the interstate there, and if any truckers, you know, in that area, you know, that's kind of my point. I want to do these live streams when I put it over on the Trucking WX channel. You know, big events like this, and we're going to try to help people be safe. That's the whole purpose. You know, it's going to be bad in Alabama and Mississippi and into Tennessee tomorrow. Everybody needs to stay safe. I will go live with another coverage of it, and you know, y'all can come in and check it out and hang out. If you can, you know, get this out to people and other truckers. So, you know, because tomorrow in the South, it's going to be a very serious situation, and people need to know. Brandon, are you okay? Are you saying you're chasing right now? You're actually with you're going that way tomorrow to chase? That's a rough area to chase in. Mississippi and Alabama is not, you know, a lot of chasers don't like to go there. And you know why? All the trees and all the terrain is just not that. It's not like being out in Oklahoma where you got a view of everything. So, guys, yeah, we'll go back to this a second. See if I can get my recorder out. I'm not sure how to. I'm working on it here. Let's see what's got. Oh, isn't that neat? Okay, let's look through this real quick. Now, as far as the
with one of the industry's largest catastrophe response teams, State Farm will always be among the first to arrive and the last to leave. To help show that human nature is greater than nature, State Farm, here to help recovery go right.
We have a winter storm that is just starting to take shape. You see some of the snow that's been falling in Omaha, Nebraska, parts of the plains, and a good chunk of the Midwest, some of the Great Lakes and the interior Northeast. You guys are all going to get some snow out of this. For the East Coast, it'll just be rain. And, of course, we've got a lot of severe weather going on down in the South. We have lots of...
That's funny, Brandon White. You're like, I found not chasing in my big rig. I didn't know that's what you were in. I haven't really looked into your channel. I did go sub to you. I realize now that, yeah, I would... we're actually headed down where? Where are we going?
Calhoun and then Brownsville.
We got to run down to Calhoun, pick up a load, and then head straight into the storms tomorrow to go to Brownsville, Texas. So we will be going through that area tomorrow. And I'm telling you what, I will be doing everything I can to stay safe. If you haven't already, 1 second. Where's my notepad at? If you haven't already, where's the app?
Barron Critical.
Okay, I got it. If you haven't already, go search on the Google Play Store and type in Barron Critical Weather. It'll pull up this app for you that's free, completely free to everybody. And I was just reading Brandon White's message. You'll be doing a weather update in a bit, waiting on the reports. In eastern Georgia on 20. Okay. All right.
It's not playing.
What do you mean it's not playing? I didn't start it.
No,
Okay. Yeah,
I can't.
I'm not
hear you.
playing this.
I know that, but I can't hear you.
Can anybody hear me at all? Got a question. Can anybody hear me?
Separate videos on that if you live down there. But
Can I get a thumbs up? Yeah, you can. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. How'd that do it? I can't do it like that. Plug it back in. So anyway, yeah. Appreciate you, Jake and Al. As you see all the ice and stuff, I kind of wanted to go over that because they're talking some pretty serious ice and snow, crippling all the way from up to northeast Michigan, even in the Uper, all the way down. You can see almost to Dallas, Texas. You're going to have ice coming in behind all that stuff with snow behind that. Now the ice is what's going to be crazy for everybody. So if you're in your truck driving through Oklahoma on 40, or you're up doing 44 in Missouri, or you're up on 55 going up into Illinois towards Chicago, 80 in Iowa, if you're running those areas tomorrow, guys, be safe. You know, there's nothing more important than your life as far as when it comes to taking a load. I know a lot of people want to push, and I've tried to do it myself, but yeah, and that rain in Chicago, I wonder what the temperature is there now. Do you know what the temperature is in Chicago right now? Because if it's rain, it'll start freezing on surfaces. If it's once it hits 32 Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So yeah, there is a lot of flooding for sure. For sure, a lot of flooding. Raining hard now. Let's see, flood alerts up. Yeah, that's my route all day. Well, Jay, hey man, be safe. Yeah, no way I would ever be on an ice storm. Snow is one thing. Snow you can get grip on. When it comes to ice, there's no chance, man. Once you get that vehicle moving, you got all that momentum, man, and you ain't going to stop for nothing. You're going to end up jackknifing, turning around, slamming into a ditch and all that stuff, but nobody wants to be doing that. It's 39 in Miami. Okay, it's been raining all day. You're talking about Miami, that's Oklahoma there, right? Or no, let's see, right at when you go into, that is Oklahoma. It's like Discover Miami. We went through there just the other day because we ran to California and back in like 4.5, 5 days. That was good. We'll see. Started out with, that's about almost 5,000 miles, and then we did the other 2 loads. So yeah, we did a pretty good run that last week. But all right, guys, I just want to come in and kind of share this with everybody. You can see on this map where all the ice is. I have to get a shout out to the Weather Channel because I did put that off their thing right there, but I gave them credit in the description, and I want to make sure that tomorrow I will be going live again. I'll actually have the radar scope up and working. And I also have another program that I found that is actually I'm able to use because it's public, it's free to the public pretty much, so you can use that without any worries. You use the Weather Channel, but I want to make sure they got their credit. As far as that goes, guys, I'm exhausted. I got to get some rest. I want everybody to have a good night, and please be safe out there. Remember I said that app is Barron Critical Weather. If you go download that app, it's free. You can set up the alerts on it. So even if you're driving and say you're in the southeast tomorrow and you head into an area with the tornado warning, it will actually scream out on your phone and tell you that you are approaching a twisting storm. That's kind of that's what it says. So, all right, my email on my channel. All right, Brandon, I will get a hold of you. We definitely have to talk. Let's see. I'm gonna read a few comments before I get off here. Hi, Joseph. How you doing? The dude. What's up, the dude? Saturday night into Sunday, the rain into snow mix in Chicago. Okay. More productive to drive to California and back instead of running unless you're trying to lose weight. James Reed, that's a good one, man. You always got a joke, right? But hey, man, I appreciate the jokes like that. Yeah, definitely keep the shiny side up, drivers, for sure. Logic Neo, appreciate it. Have a good night. Hey, I'm going to make a couple people... well, I can't do it on that because I'm going to add some more mods to my channel. Not right at the moment because I'm not... she signed in through her channel on this phone. But everybody be safe. And... check that app out. It's a really good app. Bear in critical weather. All right. Peace out, everybody. Okay. I gotta